Welcome back to another edition of the GuerrerosAzteca podcast, a podcast where we talk about the Liga MX and everything going on around the Fútbol Mexicano. Man, it had been a long time since I've said that. It's been a long time since I've recorded a podcast. It's been a long time since we've been active on this channel, the GuerrerosAzteca channel, the Liga MX exclusive channel. See, I can't even speak. It's been that long, man. But no, man, I asked you guys to leave your questions in the Q&A thread the other day, and I had a ton of Liga MX related questions, so I said, why not, instead of answering these Liga MX questions in the same Q&A session, because not everyone on the TMG channel subscribe to that channel, follows the Liga MX, might as well go to the GuerrerosAzteca, the Liga MX exclusive channel, and record a podcast there, kill two birds with one stone. So yeah, we're gonna answer your questions that you guys asked. Like a lot of people are asking me, or a handful of people asked, who will win the Liga MX. So I'm gonna give you guys my prediction on who's gonna win. Although it's kind of hard to think, man, because there's like 4 teams in my mind right now that could win, and all 4 teams have vulnerabilities. All 4 teams have their strengths and their weaknesses, obviously. So we're gonna talk about that, and tons of other questions, man, that you guys left. So, anyways, man, let's. Oh, by the way, Christmas break is right around the corner, man. Christmas break is right around the corner, and I actually plan to be active on this channel once again. I had previously spoke about doing a Raúl Jiménez My Player series with Atletico de Madrid, but it's disappointing that he's not even playing in Atletico. So it's kind of pointless. I'm kind of disappointed about that, and I'd feel weird, doing a Raúl Jiménez My Player when he doesn't even play in real life in that team. Maybe we can do a Chicharito My Player. Maybe we can continue the America Manager mode in FIFA 15. I know a lot of people will be in favor of that, and a lot of people will be opposed to that. Maybe we could do a Chivas project where we save Chivas. Maybe we can do a Cruz Azul, finally make them champions, or an Atlas, finally make them, I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas out there. You could also give me your ideas for a series on this channel in Christmas break. So anyways, man, let's get to your questions, man, because there's a ton of them, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to answer all of them. So the first one is from Chris Romero, and he asks, who will win the Liga MX this season? P.S. America is going downhill. Sad face. Yeah, sad face, man. Sad face. Quick little note about America going downhill. There's always talk about a team once they qualify, that early in the season, once they qualify to the Liguilla, there's always talk about them maybe losing that edge, maybe, losing that intensity that they've been playing. Now that they're qualified, maybe the team gets a little bit more relaxed. And I don't know if that's the case with America. I don't know if they got relaxed, man. I think, it's just, the team has never been like, although they've been leading pretty much the entire way, they've been leaders of the Liga MX, first place for pretty much the entire season. The team has never looked super solid. It looks vulnerable, and it feels like America can lose to anyone. Leones Negros, pretty much the worst team in the league, although they beat Veracruz recently, or this past weekend. They gave them a game and they tied. I think it was what was the score, 0-0 or something like that. They draw it against Leones Negros. So the team has always been vulnerable. Also, there's the other extra thing to add, that every team in the Liga plays America like it's the championship game. Or maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it surely adds, man. Like when a team plays America, they play with that 120%, and if that even exists. So anyways, man, who will win the Liga? And also Anthony Jimenez is asking me, who do you think will win the Liga MX? So a couple people are asking me who I think will win the league, and I think it's between these teams, man. Tigres, León, Toluca, and America. Honestly, those are my 4 teams that I said. I don't know. I honestly think if America and León face off in the Liguilla, whether it be the quarterfinal, how it looks right now, I think it's, let me look at the table real quick. I have it loaded up right here. Yeah, so León is actually in 7th place. So right now, if the season ended, they would play Toluca. But I think if León and America play in the quarterfinals in the first round of the Liguilla, I think the champion is coming from that series. I don't know why. It's this weird feeling that I'm getting. The champ is coming from León or America if they face off in the quarterfinals of the Liguilla. But, it's a toss-up, man. All these teams have their strengths, have their weaknesses. And León, man, the way they're closing the season is insane. Now I know some people are gonna be like, Atlas, you don't think? I don't know, man. I'm kind of iffy about it. Atlas also has had a great season. Their offense is very, very good. But I don't know. It's something about it just thinks that it's gonna be out of these 4 teams: America, Toluca, Tigres, and Leon, man. Not much of a believer, I guess, in Atlas, and hopefully they prove me wrong, man. Their fan base deserves a championship already. It's been 50 plus years, maybe 60 plus. I don't know exactly the date. I mean, Atlas fans will know. Chiapas, they're up there, 5th place of the league. Chiapas, they definitely have a good offense, but I just don't think they're gonna have enough to win the championship. Monterrey, obviously they're a solid team. They always have a solid squad, and finally they're in the Liguilla. But I don't know. I think it's gonna be between Leon, Tigres, Toluca, and America. And if Leon and America face off, then I think the champ is coming from there. Beware of Leon, man. Leon right now is the most solid team in the Liga MX. They started off horrible. They had a horrible beginning of the season, but watch out for Leon, man. Watch out for Leon in the Liguilla. All right, so let's answer another question. Let's see. Which Clásico did you think? Okay. What is it? Shadami 2, something like that. I'm sorry about that, man. Which Clásico do you think is the best in the Liga MX? Which Clásico? The America Chivas. Although this season it was absolutely terrible, but I feel like that's the biggest Clásico. The Clásico Regio was very entertaining this season. Monterrey versus Tigres. That one was very entertaining, but usually, and I bet on that game, and that game I bet on the draw, and surely enough they tied. So did America and Chivas, but I don't know. If you have to ask me what Clásico I think is the best, it's America Chivas, and that's because I'm an America fan, so it makes sense. If I was from Monterrey, if I went for either Tigres or Monterrey, I'd probably tell you the Clásico Regio is the best, but the Clásico Nacional, that's the one that I think is the best. What do you think about the referees in the Liga MX? Ivan is asking that. Ivan, I think they need better instruction. Obviously they're not very good. The referees, every week there's mistakes, and that's not only in Mexico, man. That's not only in the Liga MX. That's worldwide, to be honest with you. Everywhere you see mistakes from referees, but in Mexico in particular, I think they're missing instruction. Recently they went on a strike, kind of. They threatened to not ref the games this weekend, this past week. So eventually they came to an agreement with Decio Maria, the commissioner of the league, and but they need better instruction, and that's all I can say. They just need better instruction so they can get better. They actually need ex-referees, retired referees like Felipe Ramorrizo, like Arturo Bricio, like ex-referees that were good to instruct them and to lead them, but that's actually not the case right now. Mr. Azteca 619 asks, do you think Chivas will get relegated? And the answer is no, but they're playing with fire. I just, the way things are handled in Mexico a lot of the times, there's a lot of shady business. And I think if Chivas was to get relegated, there's no way in hell they're going to go to the 2nd division. I think they're going to buy their way out of it. But I don't think, even with that, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be between like Veracruz or Puebla or Leones Negros. But Chivas is playing with fire, and they're in real danger, man. They're in real danger, but it's hard for me to believe, honestly. It's hard for me to believe that such a big institution, such a big club like Chivas will actually get that low. They're pretty damn low. They're bottom of the barrel, but, it's hard. It's hard to even picture it, but, dude, they're playing with fire. If they don't have a good season, they got to close out whatever games are left. There's like one more game left. You got to win that one, and then you got to make sure you restructure yourself. Get rid of all the bad apples in Chivas. Get rid of Angel Reina. If he doesn't do anything, man. He has quality. He's a good player, but he doesn't do crap. He doesn't run. He doesn't do anything. If you want, get rid of him. Get rid of everyone that just you don't see anything, because you're fighting relegation, man. This is serious. It's here. The threat is real until they realize that the team is going to keep going down and down to eventually they fall to the 2nd division, which, once again, I think they would buy their way out of it. That's just my opinion. But anyways, no, I don't think Chivas will get relegated. All right, Lopez MX asks, who do you think are the top 5 teams in the Liga MX? Well, I mean, if you're asking statistically, right now, America, Toluca, Tigres, Atlas, and Chiapas are the ones with the most points, but I'm pretty sure that's not your question. You know, it's hard, man. The Liga MX is not a league where, you know, one team always stays consistently good. It's very hard to see that. You know, there's periods where you can be in the Liguilla, a team can be up there in the top 3 spots in the next season, they don't even make the Liguilla, or a team is champion in the next season, they don't even make the Liguilla, and stuff like that happens. Who are my top 5 teams? I don't know. If you're asking about, like, I think the teams that I think highly of and most prestige, or the teams that are considered the biggest of the Liga MX, América, Chivas, Pumas, Cruz Azul. Who am I going to pick for the 5th one, man? Who am I going to pick for the 5th one? It's tough, man. There's teams up there, like obviously Toluca, man. Very, very successful team, but unfortunately they're not really recognized as a big club, which they should be. They're always, you know, up there. They're always, you know, kind of contenders. They've done a great job in picking up Cardoso as their manager, and look at him. He has them in the 2nd position. But I don't know, my top 5 teams. You know, I guess for this season, if I would rank them, I've really liked Leon at the end of the season. I liked Atlas, Tigres at home, especially. America has been solid, although, you know, right now, recently, they've been kind of shaky. I think they're on a 3-game, you know, they have 3 games without winning, right? I think it's been 3 games already. They lost to Querétaro. They tied with Chivas, and they recently tied with Toluca 2-2. Entertaining game, by the way. But, you know, I don't know if I answered your question. Alrighty, another question comes from Isaac Mariscal, and he asks, do you think Chivas will ever be good again? Like we were saying recently, yeah, you know, it's hard for me to believe that, you know, they're not going to get up from this. It is hard, but it might happen, you know. Like I'm saying, I'm being, I guess, optimistic for the club, but, you know, it could happen, man. It could happen that Chivas, maybe I'm wrong about them buying their way out of it, and what if they do go to the 2nd division, which, once again, even I'm saying that, and I can't even believe what I'm saying, but do I think they'll ever be good again? Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure eventually they'll have to get up from it, man. Juan Solis asks, do you think Leon have it in them to win yet another championship? And I do, man. I honestly do. Leon is a dangerous team, especially at home. And once this team has some momentum like they do now, although I was kind of disappointed that they weren't able to beat Puebla. That would have sent them, oof, man, that would have put them in what, 6th place, I think. Let me see the goal difference. Oh, that would have put them in like 5th place or something. Well, depending on what Monterrey did. But anyways, if they were to they weren't able to beat Puebla at home, and you have to beat Puebla, man. You have to assert dominance. They tied to 0 goals, I believe. But yeah, do I think the Leon have it in them to win another championship? Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Leon is in my opinion, is a serious contender to win the league this season, especially how they're closing out the end of the season, man. Juan Aguilar asks, what do you think about Carlos Vela saying yes to Mexico? And I'm actually going to make a completely different video on that. So I don't want to answer this right now because I want to get into detail and be able to talk for a while. So I'm not going to answer that right now, but just keep it in mind that I plan on making a video or a podcast talking just about Vela and El Tri. So, you know, put the question away and I'll answer it in a bit. Munchie asks, what player do you like best in Liga MX? And there's actually 2 players. My favorite player currently is Miguel Ayun. But in the Liga MX, I've always liked Darwin Quintero, man. Oof, man, what a player Darwin Quintero is. And I was actually very surprised and somewhat disappointed that Colombia didn't take him to the World Cup. Although Colombia has a hell of a squad, man. Colombia is stacked still. But I feel like that, you know, Darwin Quintero could always add something to a team. He is a very, very dangerous player. Super smart. Tons of football IQ. Although his finishing isn't the best always, the dude just... He exerts quality, man. The dude just sweats quality. I mean, he's a quality player, and I wish I saw a article on mediotiempo.com recently that America was already in negotiations with Santos to bring him for the next season. I don't know how true that is, but I would love that. And it's kind of, at the same time, it's like, man, America is always buying Santos players. Like, they bought Chucho Benitez. They've bought Oribe Peralta, obviously. Now they're going to buy Darwin. But I don't know. Darwin Quintero, man, if they can get him, Camilo Zambeso, and what's the other guy from Veracruz? Oh, man, his name is not coming to me. He's a small Argentinian kid. Damn it, man, I can't think of his name right now. But anyways, yeah. My favorite players in the Liga MX, or the players that I like best, Miguel Ayun and Darwin Quintero. Omar Gonzalez asked, do I think Chepo is going to make Chivas go back to their former glory and make the Super Clásico even better? I think the Clásico will be better in seasons to come. This one was just a very, very bad played game. But is Chepo going to be the one to bring Chivas up to their former glory? We've been talking a lot about Chivas in this podcast, but I don't know if it's going to be Chepo, but I know it's got to happen, man. I just find, once again, for the millionth time, I find it hard to believe that the team is just going to keep going on a decline. And, why not? I think it is going to be Chepo. I think they're finally going to give a coach, the time and the patience of Chepo so far. Although they lost 5-0 or something to Santos in the Copa MX. Other than that, the team has looked, although it's very defensive, the team still doesn't score a lot. At least they're not losing every single game, like they were back then. Although they still are 17th place in the league, and that's just not gonna cut it for Chivas. But is it gonna be Chepo? I don't know if it's gonna be Chepo. I have to believe it is. But eventually, I think Chivas is just gonna get up, like I've been saying for the past 100th time, man. Mapi1824, are you impressed on how Leon is playing? Who will win the Liguilla? # La Fiera. And then someone replies, Leon Tricampeón. Like I said, man, yes, I'm impressed with Leon, how they're closing the season. They're still, it's crazy. Look at Leon's record. 7 wins, 1 draw, and 8 losses. So they still have more losses, 1 more loss than win. But the way they're closing the season, they're looking very strong. Mauro Boselli, I think, is the top goal scorer. Or he's tied for the top goal scorer of the league. So watch out for Leon. I'm telling you, watch out for Leon. Am I impressed of how they're playing? Yes, I'm impressed with the way they're closing the season. And I have them as a serious contender to win the league. Watch out for them. Javier Rodriguez asks, who's your favorite player from Cruz Azul and the Liga MX? So in the Liga MX, I actually answered that. It was Miguel Ayun and Darwin Quintero as well. Who's your favorite player from Cruz Azul? I don't know if I have one from Cruz Azul, my favorite player. It probably, and this one's going to be weird because he hasn't played in a long time. He's actually hurt. Amaranto Perea, man. Wow, man. What a center back for him. He would have actually gone to the World Cup, I think, for the Colombian national team. But he has this serious injury that still has him, out of the pitch. But if I had to pick one from recent times, it probably would be Amaranto Perea. I like Joao Rojas somewhat. Marco Fabian, he's kind of letting me down recently. Pavone, I'm not a big fan of. I think, he doesn't. Sometimes he's good, and then he has streaks that he just doesn't score. Chaco Jimenez is a very good player. He accepted his role coming off the bench, and he's always a threat. But Amaranto Perea is probably, he was a hell of a center back. I remember that one season where America played Cruz Azul in the final. He neutralized, Chucho Benitez pretty much. May he rest in peace, obviously, Chucho. But Amaranto Perea did a hell of a job on him that series, that final, and he's probably my favorite player from Cruz Azul, although he's not playing right now. Probably the last question. I was scrolling through the comments, and I couldn't find any more Liga MX related questions and stuff like that. Eddie Ramirez asked, Gio or Chicharito? Gio or Chicharito? Probably the one that has the most quality is Giovanni Dos Santos, but there's no one more professional and more hardworking than Chicharito. I think there's no Mexican player more hardworking than him, and the dude just perseveres through everything. Maybe Layun matches him in his what do you call it, in his willpower. His willpower, just pushing through it all and working hard. Layun and Chicharito are up there, man. But Chicharito in Real Madrid still, he got criticism for showing up, that he didn't belong there, that he didn't deserve to be in Real Madrid. He scored a couple goals, very beautiful goals, some of them. But Gio, I think, he has a little bit more quality. He's more technical with the ball in his feet. But who would I choose as a striker? Probably Chicharito, honestly. Gio, I like him a little bit behind, like a false 9 sort of, or maybe like a center attacking mid, although Gio does play as a striker in Villarreal. He wants to be the number 9. And I don't know how they're going to work it out, man. Gio, Chicharito, and Vela up front. That's going to be a very, very interesting attack. I wish Jimenez was playing and scoring and stuff like that, because that would be just brutal, man. 4 strikers in the Spanish league. That would be insane, and that would be great for the Mexican national team. But Gio or Chicharito? Probably Chicharito. Just, the dude, even though he's not as technical and as maybe good as certain strikers. He has his work ethic, his willpower just always, you know, has him up there in the top teams of the world. So Chicharito, I'm going with. So anyways, man, that's it. That's all of the questions I could find. What the hell? I can't even speak now. And if I Little Gizmo asked, what are your thoughts of Vela coming back to Mexico? Like I said, I'm gonna make an entire separate video, or I plan to. Hopefully I can do that very, very soon. An entire video of Vela coming back to the Mexican national team. We have the Netherlands versus Mexico game tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening to this. I'm not really sure when I'm gonna get the chance to upload it, but yeah, man, I'm very, very excited to see what Miguel Herrera, how he sets up the team with Vela now, with Chicharito, with Gio Dos Santos. Very curious, man. Very curious to see those three play together, especially. I don't know, man. I'm pumped. I think it should be a good game. And I'll come back with the following podcast with the results already in hand, and I'll give you guys my conclusions, my opinions on the game, and also my opinions on Vela returning to the Mexican national team and stuff like that. So anyways, man, remember that we're going to become active once again on this channel, Guerreros Azteca, because of the Christmas break. We're going to get the chance to get a little bit more time. You know, if I don't have the time to be consistent in my main channel, which is TMG, then I'm not going to have the time, obviously, to be consistent and upload consistently in Guerreros Azteca. It's understandable, and it's frustrating for me. It really is frustrating, but, you know, I'm about to hit Christmas break. I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands, so that's definitely good news, and it should be good news for you guys, the viewers. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, man. Thank you guys for your questions. Hopefully I answered all of them, if not most of them. I'm sorry if I missed any of one of your questions. I'm pretty sure I covered most of them while you know, the ones that were there while I was recording this video. Thank you guys for watching for the millionth time, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, bros, and as always, que viva el fútbol.